All right. Here we go with the breakdown of Tears Don't Fall. Yeah, so nothing too crazy. Just a couple of resamples to just really add like atmosphere and stuff to some nice like weird granular stuff. And then we've got a couple little couple of little doodads. And wherever this bass thing is, I think I added why that guitar melody sounds so much like the Halloween theme, I never realized, but we got guitars here on the left and right. And then these additional guitars that are not quite panned all the way left and right. And this little bass thing. Little neuro action. We got this little exciter riser kind of thing. Is this clipping? Fuck. Yeah, mostly just instrumental stuff, obviously, for this part. I can just quickly just show you what's going on, but some chorus guitars. Some like room. I think these are the leads. We got a lower register and an upper register. And then one thing that's very notable about the way that I have been doing drums, which I kind of have yet to see if this is the best thing, because I didn't do it in Deftones, and I got the drums to really pop on the intro. But it definitely depends on, I think it kind of depends on what you're going for. If you really want the drums to punch, then I wouldn't compress or limit or clip them. But for big metal choruses and stuff, especially, I guess, more stuff that has a lot of drums, that you don't want to sidechain and just like work around. So I use this drum bus. I got it. I think I got it from an Infect thing, but it works really well for like instrumental drums. So I just have these. Yeah, it's just this Ableton drum bus with a G clip. Very, very, very simple. And this isn't even on. I think this should be on. And then I even added a little bit of spiff tiny bit of spiff just to get them a little bit more punchy, push the dynamics. And then that fucking delay is crazy. Another thing that's notable that I would say mix-wise that I always do is I have my entire instrumental, so everything, which isn't even a lot because this is like, in this particular circumstance, it's a lot of just guitars. I really just wanted the feel of the original, so it's a lot of just plain instrumental stuff. Not even, there's really nothing else going on. I could have added some more atmosphere and stuff, but I just and normally I would add just more electronic elements, but this one I just wanted to feel very raw and contrast with the fucking techno and the drum and bass and all of that. There are parts where synths come in and stuff too, obviously later. But I have the whole instrumental here, and this is how I always do mixing with my vocals. Is the whole song is basically in here, and then all of the vox is in here. And let's see, where is this? This is routed to song. Oh, okay. This is the whole song. So there's just, sometimes I put a couple little things outside of the instrumental if I just don't want them to be as, I don't know, as compressed or whatever the case may be. I just sometimes, but it's still part of this instrumental, essentially part of the whole song. So even like this little like bass thing, I think from earlier. And then basically this is sidechain to the vox with a little sidechain compressor from Ableton, Soothe with the sidechain also to the vox. And then you don't have to necessarily sidechain to the vox. I think it just shows you like where the waveform is. Yeah, so this red is the frequencies that are coming in from the vocals. So I use that to kind of tuck some of these things underneath the vocals, and this turns off whenever the song hits the drop. It's just for when the vocals are on. But this whole little thing is the vocal compressor. I could do a little like separate thing on that or whatever. I could put that on Patreon. It's very simple. But yeah. All right, so a lot of this stuff was from Creation, Hardstyle guy. So I will just show you what I did in correlation with what he sent me. Kind of just some extra atmosphere and effects. Whatever this thing is. This guy. Yeah, a little snare and then this clap thing. And then this shrag kick, which took quite a bit of processing, I think, on my end to mix it loud in kind of the right way. Well, it doesn't. I guess I just put spiff on it. These are the vocals up here. So basically, a shrag kick is evidently a certain type of kick that is made with drums mixed into it. So it's like you almost have like percussion, like in the actual sample, so to speak, but it's made to be kind of blended like that. So the rest of the hats and stuff come in more progressively. Let's see. Did I have a transient? I don't think I even had a transient on this. That's something that I will cover in the Salvation stuff when that comes out. Because I did a lot of serious work with some more hard dance stuff, and I use a separate transient to make it click more. But I guess I didn't do that in this one. Maybe there's a part where I did. A little old school Nexus vibe. If you don't have Nexus, Nexus is great for classic, just like all kinds of old school fucking Steve Aoki and all kinds of analog crazy, just generic sounding presets, but they still sound like quality. So you can just get some of those classic sounds. As it were with a lot of the way I feel like people are mixing these days, these drums are going straight out, straight to the main, straight to the master. That's what makes them just pump so loud. So everything is kind of mixed underneath the loudness of those. This is Soothe sidechained. All of these synths. All of these synths are reverb delay. Yeah, all of these synths are Soothe sidechained underneath the kicks, so that lets the kicks breathe even more, and it still sounds good. It still sounds loud. It doesn't sound like you're losing anything from the synths, really. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this section. More guitar layers. And there's a couple little doodad bass fillers that I added to this section, which I really liked. And these are all also in this section, which is sidechaining the vocals, but these are all between drums, so I just kind of left them like outside of the.
With bloodshot eyes, I watch you sleeping. The warmth
A little yoink. A little kind of neuro action. That's not how that's supposed to sound.
beside me is slowly fading. What?
Yeah, that's not how the original, the final master sounds. I don't know what's going on with that.
It's slowly fading. Would she hear me if I called her name? Would she hold me if she knew my shape? There's always something different going wrong. The path I walked in the wrong direction. There's always someone fucking hanging on. Can anybody help me make things better? Your tears don't fall and crash around me. No conscience calls the guilty to come home. Your tears don't fall and crash around me. The guilty to come home.
Then we've got some layers here. Some big hardstyle leads from Creation. This little pluck thing. Some contact vocals.
Your tears don't fall and crash around me. No conscience calls the guilty to come home. Your tears don't.
Yeah, and the fun part, in my opinion, pretty straightforward for, you know, the drums and stuff. I think I even kept most of these. Well, no, that is more of a drum and bass top. I think these, yeah, these I took from this section just so they're a little more consistent. And then, yeah, these I added. And then, yeah, we've got this fat, mean main bass, which the big key here is, the big key here to this bass, which I've been using this kind of technique for a lot of basses lately. But the main thing here is that there is this kind of FM sound, and I guess I did make this on Serum 1. And the sub is being routed directly out, and then we have Rift on here, which Rift is really giving it. Rift is giving it all of the fucking girth. If we take this off. You can't even hear it because this sub is cut out. And there's a lot of techniques that use like sub distortion within Serum, but sometimes it works and many times it sounds great. But to get something that sounds just where you can get a clean sound but also distorted sound, so we're getting the main part of this FM bass at the beginning and then the sub at the end. So it's just ripping, and then that sub is going through Rift, and you're getting all of this sub distortion, even though the sub is cut. So that's the main. There's some other things to get the bass itself sounding nice. Let's just, if we like do this not direct out. It's just washed out. Even if we put it direct out and have Rift. Yeah. Night and day. So yeah. Suck on that one. Rift bass. I should just do a whole separate tutorial for this, and I probably will. I may even just clip this for the time being. But that is how you get one of the coolest sounding basses, I think, personally, that I'm fucking with for a lot of stuff. So that's the key. And then I kind of just change the tonality of that for this one down here. And something about the unison detune with the random down, which gives you, that very like dispersory, just detuned bass Serum patch that everyone's been doing for quite a while. That random disperser change is what is actually giving the sound what sounds like it's changing. It's like do 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 do. There's no modulation on the track that's making the pitch like change. It's like kind of hard to explain, but it is changing, and it just worked. Like I just messed around with a length of time and was like, oh, I don't even need to do anything to make this like, kind of melody change or whatever. Like it's already got movement, so to speak. And then this bass, I believe it's this one. Very similar thing. I have disperser before the Rift, which is also another way to, I would just recommend like messing with it, but put disperser before the Rift and see what kind of results you get. 'Cause it kind of just, I don't know, makes the distortion a little bit more, I don't know, dynamic. But yeah, this is essentially the same kind of thing. This bass and then this sub. Same process as this Rift bass. It's just a different sound, different vibe. There's a fat rack, stereo, really not much else. It's not a preset from Rift. If you just go to, it's just if you just go to, sorry, I mean technically yes, it is technically a preset, but it's not like It's not like customized at all. It's this one. Kick. It's either Kick Crunch or Kick Tuner. Yeah, it's Kick Tuner. Yeah. Kick tuner, yes. Super Jim. Just mess with it. I don't really even push them up that much. Literally just yeah, something like that. Tune, I don't really do too much with because it will like change the tune of your sub. And usually I push like no more than 50%, I would say. Usually around there. But yeah, that kick tuner will make your sub fucking smash. And then yeah, I really think that's most of what's happening here. Yeah, same thing. This is the same preset that I have, Dracarius. This Harmer Saw is really cool. Just a really sick wavetable I use quite a bit, but this is the same as this fill. It's the same one. I just, made the rate. I just made the rate free rate, whatever you call that. And then bounced it. So the timing would line up a little bit more. But that's really cool, like almost neuro sounding thing, just from, really you can get any kind of bass if you have some sort of saw and a sub. You can get any kind of neuro, really, if you just fuck with the rate and kind of just make it more freeform. There's just neuros that sound like everything, but I think the free form is what really gives neuro basses like what their sound is. I will say that mixing hardstyle and drum and bass and hardstyle and dubstep and stuff is a very, very tedious process, but fun. And I think this came out like really, really good as far as just overall balance, overall mix of the song with everything together. Particularly because I want the drum and bass to fucking be loud and pop, and like they call this in hardstyle, this section, this big melodic fucking rock hick. They call that in hardstyle the climax section. And so it was like, it was pretty tedious to kind of mix everything so that the climax still had a lot of impact. Particularly in relation to like how punchy and stuff the drum and bass section is. But we got it. I think I fucking, yeah. So whereas the Strag kick, which I sent to the main in the beginning, as you probably remember, this one I actually didn't. So this raw kick I routed to the song, and and there's nothing really. I mean, there's nothing really on the song, which essentially, I guess. Well, I guess the song. Okay, the song is going to the pre-master. That's true. I haven't been using this pre-master as much. I used it for like, I don't know. I used it for like, where did I get this pre-master? It's not that crazy as a mid-side. A little bit more EQing. Oh yeah, this is kind of key. So this is something like the Ozone has been going on my main master, but I'm also just messing with just G clip on the master. I don't know. It's like every few months, like there's a new fucking procedure, and I kind of just A/B everything, and sometimes I think things sound louder, and I don't even know. It's a fucking crisis, dude. But in any case, this is I think it's from NASCO. Yeah, it's from NASCO, which I'm pretty sure that these settings, all you have to do, there's 10, 5, 4, 6. That's pretty much all that's on the pre-master. But point being, the Strag kick, I didn't want to go in there. It was getting too compressed. This fit the mix more. So kind of just a takeaway is just, route things different places, send things to the pre-master, don't send things to the pre-master, particularly drums. But because this is a drum, but it's also a main part of the sound, I did want it to go through there. And then all of these leads and stuff, I also have soothed the sidechain to the hardcore kick also. So those are ducking or just dynamically being compressed under the kick. And then we have a classic 80s style fade out on the guitar solo. I thought it was cool. My guitarist was like, what am I supposed to play the solo on the fade out? I was like, well, the solo is in here too. Where is it? Maybe it's not. Wait a second. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So, yeah, that pretty much about does it. I had a lot of fun working on this. It was cool to mix hard dance and drum and bass and everything together, and because this was a very spur of the moment, and I was like, let's just get it out in February, so we put it out. But the Salvation EP that will be coming out very soon, I had to push it back 2 weeks because we're dropping the Deftones remix. It's not a remix. I'm doing a cover of it because it's doing really well on TikTok right now. So Deftones, then the Salvation EP first single will come out, which is hard dance and dubstep. And I just had a lot of fun, messing with new mediums and, I don't know, fucking around with some hard dance. I mean, all of these songs go off in sets. So they still work for dubstep artists. Hopefully there's a bunch of techno DJs playing this out there. But yeah, I think it rocks, and that's all that matters. So yeah, that will about do it for the Tears Don't Fall breakdown. And as always, I will put the project file on Patreon. Hope that was fucking some sick learning, dude. Or whatever. Hope that was informative. Yeah. I'm gonna end this recording now.